All right. Excellently done there by Recolt. Ape Escape 3 and 8%. Super cool run. So thank you so much. And up next, we have Donkey Kong Country 2, Unveiled 102% by bluebeary26. Really looking forward to that one. We actually have an incentive for that one as well. And I believe we are still about 60% of the way to having reverse controls on the K. Rool fight. So if that's something you're interested in seeing, please feel free to go ahead and donate. Thank you, Shuli, for hitting the exclamation point donate for us. Alrighty, everyone. It is now my time to sign off here. And CCNeverender will be taking over very, very shortly. So I appreciate everybody having me, and please have a good rest of your day, and really enjoy the runs that are coming up. I know I definitely will also. And again, feel free to donate if you would like to. A great cause that Save the Children is helping us out with today. So really appreciate everybody, and yeah, here's CCNeverender. Thanks, guys.
Hey everybody. Sorry, I was setting up Gaffy there. Hope everyone's doing all right today. We have a new host coming in for this run, and that is Gaffy Taffy, who will be joining us shortly. Hope you're all doing all right today. By the way, up next we have Donkey Kong Country 2 Unveiled 102%, which is a sick run, and it has a sick incentive. By the end of the run, the final boss fight, you can donate to make Blueberry reverse their controls. So if you want to make Blueberry's life even harder, please consider donating towards that event, or towards that incentive. There's also a bid war for colors, by the way. I believe there's only been one donation, or at least $50 towards one particular color. But if y'all would like to see something, don't forget to please donate to that cause. And here we have him. He's here now. It's Gaffy Taffy.
Well, hi, everybody. Hope everybody's been enjoying Speed Dock so far. Launch party's gone off without a hitch, I'm sure. Anybody get to see the new episode yesterday?
Any watchers in chat?
Any watchers? Any referencers? Is anybody winning that spreadsheet thing already? Have we heard about it?
CJ has not filled me in, so I don't know.
Ooh. I was wondering, am I allowed to? I felt like I was cheating. And
anyone except for me and Quo and CJ can participate. So
good.
You are allowed to do that because you were not in the writing room, so to speak.
All right. Well, let's see. Coming up in just a moment, we're going to have Blueberry returning with another Speed Docks run, and this time with Donkey Kong Country 2, 102%. Everybody loves a little bit of DKC. And I am just filling myself in with everything, but I'm looking at our next targets. And it appears we have an incentive to reverse the controls on the K-Rool fight, currently at $59 out of $100. So if you're considering donating, use that exclamation donate, put it towards that. We don't like to miss goals here.
As CJ would say, we don't miss incentives in this dojo.
Hasn't happened yet.
All right, let's get started.
We've driven an hour out into the desert, and this really is where hunger, the economic crisis and climate change all collide in Afghanistan. There's no safe water for miles around here. There's just one well that families here tell me causes diarrhea and contains toxins. Before the crisis, the villagers could afford to get water trucked in tankers. But now they just can't afford it. The price of one tanker has doubled, and all the families here are struggling and don't know where their next meal is coming from. Save the Children, for the moment, has stepped in. We bring in 1 truck of water every week, which is really the only safe drinking water that families here have access to. One of the ways that families here try to get enough water is by collecting rain in plastic sheeting that then funnels into pits under the ground that they've dug. And sometimes they're forced to drink that, despite the fact the water's stagnant and dirty and causes diseases like diarrhea. Thankfully, at the moment we're trucking water out here, so that isn't necessary, but that's what families were going through before Save the Children's water tankers reached this area.
Hello there.
All right, and we are ready to go. How are you doing, Blueberry?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
Oh, wonderful. And who do you have on your couch today?
I have my friend and the creator of this hack, Mtesis.
What's up?
And this is 102. So previous year I did any percent, and that was a lot of fun. Thank you again for having me. And this year it's going to be 102. So this is going to be everything that MT has modified, including extra stuff that he has added, all bonus coins, all DK coins, and the Lost World.
Well, awesome. I'm excited to see it for sure.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time. The run is kind of long, and I'm sure MT has a lot that he wants to say. I'll do my best to help him commentate, but he's going to mainly do mostly of the talking. So yeah, without further ado, I'm going to give a countdown, and then we'll start.
Well, good luck to you.
Well, thank you. Okay, so in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Let's go. So, as far as I can tell, the Void colors won.
Yes.
So in this game, there's actually kind of a little bit of a color cheat code that you can pick different colors for the Kongs. That was not in the original game. And so we're in grayscale, like back in the 90s. Let's go. And on to the first bonus already in 1-1. This is kind of the Stardust stage. A little bit of a beginner Stardust stage. Cute little bonus. You gotta bounce on this guy to get extra height and then team throw off of him still to get to the coin. When I designed all these bonuses, I tried my best to not only have them be thematically themed, just like the stages, but also kind of be a little bit of a puzzle most of the time. If they're not puzzles and they're more straightforward, then they're probably rather platform heavy. But yeah, the stage is Bouncy Bay, the very first stage of the game, and it's all about bouncing on crocodiles and stuff like that. So it also has the kaboing enemy literally everywhere, which is pretty much the only one that is that jumpy. We got a DK coin. So I don't know. For the record, for those who haven't maybe played the original, this is modified. This is a remake of the original game Donkey Kong Country 2 for the SNES, but general rules that used to apply still apply. So we still have bonuses in stages varying from 1 to 3 per stage, and we have a DK coin in every stage. And for 102%, we want to collect everything. In vanilla, it actually technically didn't matter whether you collected the DK coins or not. it doesn't contribute towards percentage. But in this game, it actually does matter, and I'll go into detail later on about that. But here we have Bountiful Traps. This is one of the harder stages. A lot of people tend to quit on this actually because it's so difficult. This is a bit of a rite of passage. Like it's the second stage of the video game and it's already this hard. The gimmick about this is that you gotta avoid all these blue coins at all costs, basically, because they tend to have barrels behind them, invisible barrels that will shoot you into bees and stuff, and you're having a bad time.
This is also a good way to show like how well hidden some things are.
Yes, this is one of my favorites actually. People don't know that this stage is completely connected, but yeah, if you manage to find that barrel there, that hidden barrel at the end of the section, then it'll shoot you all the way back up to the top and you'll be able to collect the DK coin, which is pretty slick. So off to the left, third bonus here. It's very unusual actually that stages have 3 bonuses, but it does happen. This is already the max amount of bonuses per stage. The number of bonuses per stages actually haven't been modified from vanilla. They're still the same, so people that used to be able to hunt bonuses down in vanilla can literally just write down those things from guides or whatever, and it applies to Unveiled as well. There's also indicators on the overworld map whether you found everything in the stage or not. So this is Flitter Flight, another insanely difficult level. We're utilizing the purple bird walks, and usually you'd only find this one in PCP, which is Parachute Panic from the vanilla game, which only ends up being in World 5. And the gimmick about that bird is that he can't actually fly up or anything. He can just move left and right and descend. That's about it. Nice, you got the roll.
Yeah.
Let's go. We get those now, dude. Let's go. So yeah, this is all about momentum, basically. Maintaining momentum into the bird. You got to roll into birds and stuff like that. It's pretty crazy. A lot of people don't know that you actually descend slower with a purple bird if you hold upwards. And you do need to do that in this stage in order to not die.
This is the first instance of RNG, so this is still the RNG bonus. It's just now the second one, and the bee is in a different position.
Yep. Yeah. So instead of I believe it was a stationary bee, it's now a circling bee. So it's a little bit more difficult, but this is still World 1. This is still like kind of beginner stuff. This game is notoriously difficult, so you'll get to see some stuff later on. We'll already pick up the difficulty curve quite a bit in World 2. You see him enter one of the Kongs there. We do actually need to enter all the Kongs because they give an extra %. That is the same as in vanilla, but a lot of people don't actually know that. Here's a cool little thing that you can do. You hang onto this hook, and that allows you to dismount into the water, shrinking your hitbox just enough to squeeze past the puffed up fish. So that's a neat little thing that I found during making this hack, and I decided to utilize it. Basically, that's how like most bonuses and stuff came to be. I just played around with mechanics and looked up what you can do and stuff, did unusual things that the original game doesn't combine, and if I ended up liking it, I designed bonuses around them or hidden DK coins. The original game does hide quite a lot of content, bonuses, DK coins and stuff in plain sight. I didn't really like that much. I wanted something more special, so I ended up having more like riddles and stuff like that. I think it worked out quite nicely.
I think so too. Gives the game more.
Fun fact, actually.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Okay. Sorry. Fun fact, actually, the puffed ups there, they shot diagonal spikes. Usually they just shoot them in like a cross pattern, but like vertical and horizontal. But the puff dubs from World 3, they actually shoot diagonally. The thing is, in some other ROM hacks, they use them and you can see the difference in their color, but I adjusted their colors to be the same so you legit can't tell. Now this is the first stage where we actually use a lot of tricks. This is called the big boy, where you throw against, you do a team up throw against an enemy, and after your Kong returns back to you, you'll be able to get another jump off of it. It's like a mid-air jump that you can do. We utilize this a lot in vanilla, and it's amazing in this stage. You skip so much in this stage because of this trick. You see another one here, and it'll be into a D-boost that'll grant a super jump as well. So this is a team throw to store the super jump, D-boost into it, boom, midway. And midway of this stage is quite literally the end of the stage, actually quite short after that. So up there is the DK coin that was hidden behind the cannon guy. And then there's another hidden barrel here that will bring us to the bonus.
Alright, good start.
And that was pretty much all of World 1 already. That was crazy. That was flawless. So we're doing pretty good. Upcoming is the first boss of the game, Row 1. Infamous for his RNG on his eggs in the later phase. And the reason why we're skipping Funky Kong here is that we need to enter his shop later on a lot.
Yeah.
So
You're gonna see Funky a lot, so if you're a big Funky fan, you're gonna like this. You also hear the Funky theme a lot too, so that's actually kind of cool.
Funky theme is so good. It's literally so good. It makes me jam every single time I enter that stage. And the Kong College is up there too. Definitely underrated. GG. We got fakeless RNG too. Perfect RNG, man.
Yeah.
How do you do it every time? I swear it's marathon luck, because every time I see you in marathons, you just nail it. Alright, World 2. We got Void's favorite stage, Rambi Rampage, actually. So, in this stage, you control Rambi the entire time and maneuver through these things. Ooh, nice double jump. So that was a trick. You didn't have to do this, but it saves time, obviously, so... As the dev of this game, I actually need to point out what you have to do and what you don't have to do, because else people will point fingers at me and say it's Kaizo, and I'm scared. It is a little bit Kaizo sometimes. To an extent, I'll admit.
There we go. I missed the B.
Also, no Rambi hate, please. I see a hack Rambi in chat, and I don't love it. Get some Rambi love. And Rambi did nothing wrong, okay? He's just a rhino. So, there's another bonus hidden up here with my weird logo in there, actually, as well. Nobody can tell what it is actually about. Bonus points for the people that were able to tell what it was about, but he collected it pretty quickly. You'll see it a lot more often, though. So that would have not been the last time. Alright, how do I vote more than 10 times? Time to get 20 Smurf accounts. Alright. Pick the right thing, people. It's about heck or love Rambi, okay? Him Horn. Alright, safety save, I suppose? That's yeah. That's a smart idea. Marathon stuff. And yeah, so that bonus is hidden in a pit. I learned that from Dodo, that you can hide stuff in pits all the time. Shout out to Dodo. Yo, happy birthday, Domaze, by the way. It's Domaze's birthday today. Can you guys believe it? Actually, on this marathon occasion.
Feels birthday, man.
Boy.
Yeah. So, yeah, shouts to birthday kid Dodo makes a Donkey Kong Country 3 ROM hack currently, the spiritual successor to this game. Hopefully less Kaizo, and with less Rambi probably too.
Hopefully with more hard
I had to
platforming too.
It needs hard platforming, man. The people complain that this deck doesn't have hard platforming.
Lack of hard platforming.
Yeah. As you can see, all of this game is super easy. Like,
Oh yeah.
I don't even know how to fail anything in it. It's so easy. So this stage is one of my favorites. This is one of the bigger gimmicks, if you will, because something like that has not been in the original yet, which is it's an escort mission, and Blue loves those. So you have to carry the cannonball all the way. Yeah, he loves the. Yeah, you have to carry a cannonball all the way from start to finish, and if you don't, then you don't get into the cannon, and that's the only way to progress in this stage. So the first time Blue tried to actually go past all this and didn't have the cannonball, it was a good day. It was a good day, man. Legit. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Right. And you can't even talk back, dude. You have to focus on the run right now. No talking, please, okay?
No.
Don't mess up. No, but
I'm sure I will somehow. Like, oh my god.
From a design standpoint, this stage was kind of difficult to make because tricks like these where you throw the ball up would not have worked back then. Oh, nice drop there. Actually,
Yo, thanks. I blame the
no
commentator.
problem, dude. Yeah. That may or may not have been RNG, or we're just trying to hit the right time estimate. Go a little bit over estimate, maybe.
Oh right, yeah, I'm supposed to go over estimate. That's true. That's
Hey,
true.
hey,
I
dude,
should
this
die
is
more.
actually rigged. I love it.
I'd be careful. I've heard bad things happen to people that get overestimate. I don't want to, alarm you, but.
All right. So yeah, we managed to bring the cannonball up top. Hooray! So we did it. But yeah, a lot of this stage has actually not worked on launch. Believe it or not, it was awful. A lot of complaining made me change a lot of things and learn a lot more things. Because this cannonball used to despawn a heckin' lot, and yeah, it was not great. So every up throw basically would literally despawn that cannonball, and it was quite a pain. Alright, we deboost into that bonus because we don't need 2 Kongs in there. And this is a pretty straightforward one. You just keep bouncing up and clobber it again. Pretty cute actually. Some mid-air bounces. That one for some reason actually the TNT clobbers have a time period where they don't hurt you when you bounce into them as they wake up. This one is the first really difficult stage. Some people argue this is actually like Kaizo Light. I'd say it's just difficult, and they need to get better. But
Yes.
Just get good.
just get good.
Mhm, yeah, just get good forehead. You know what I'm saying? So this is a Dixie only stage. I didn't explain this, but in World 1 we had a Diddy only stage. This is a Dixie only stage because I thought Dixie is underutilized actually. People skip her a lot in speedruns. She's slower and stuff. She's a really good character for casual play, that's for sure. Like a lot of people think she's OP because of the glide, but in speedruns she's actually usually underutilized. And so in this hack I made people use Dixie a lot more, and so this stage is entirely designed around her. Nice wiggle there to avoid the B.
Thank you.
You gotta do a lot of gliding and stuff in this stage, otherwise it's not possible. And it's a forced Dixie entrance anyway, so shoutouts to Fred helping me out with that actually ASM code.
Fun fact,
And,
I do the
the
first
code is
bonus
fantastic.
in 2-2, specifically in the order I do it for 102, so that way it's like immersion. It looks like when you start select out of the solo Dixie part of the bonus, people don't realize that this is only a solo Dixie stage.
Right, actually, you never had to, you never had to force it. That's amazing.
I have a couple things of good news if I can have a moment.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Well, we got a $26 donation from Anonymous, putting us at $200 already, and only $15 away from the reverse flight control on K-Rool. Also,
Hell yeah.
Rambi has won love in the poll, so at least chat knows what's up.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, what is the
Yeah.
impact of the reverse flight controls? Like, why is that a I guess, challenge.
Okay, so oh.
Yeah, let me do the talking, you do the not dying, so
Okay.
this is not exactly easy. So it is hard because K rule, there's 2 K rules in this game. One is the boss of the game, and 80% wise. Also a really cool bonus coming up here. Kind of want to emphasize this a little bit. But yeah, one is the any percent boss and one is the 102% boss, which you only unlock at the very end of the game in the Lost World, which is extra content that you only unlock. Unfortunate death, but it happens. And he starts out shooting a couple projectiles that, if you touch them, will reverse your controls for the rest of the fight, and that includes left and right and up and down. So even to crouch, you'll have to press up. And in K Rool 2, you'll see a lot of projectiles coming your way at insane speeds, I want to say. I'm not going to spoil all of it, but it's pretty damn hard. And yeah, they are varying heights and stuff, so you need to alternate between crouching and jumping over them and stuff like that. And yeah, it is a lot harder. I don't know how to do the fight in reverse. I intended it to be that kind of, you touch them, you're done. But Mr. Smarty Pants Blueberry apparently figured it out, so it's definitely gonna be interesting. I've seen it a couple of times and it impresses me every single time. This bonus is really smart. The entrance is really neat. There's a faster strat that we used to do, but now we have to do the intended strat, which is a cool backup. At least you didn't have to die for that, but you team up bounce off the glitter stairs so to spare the last one, and then you wait for him to arrive at the goal, interrupting your shooting animation onto the goalpost, allowing you to be able to enter the bonus. And with that, there's one more stage. Animo Ascent, and that means more Rambi. Dude, I'm so happy. And he's gone.
Don't worry,
Okay,
he
and
comes
then-
back for all you lovers over there.
He always does. That was Voight's first reaction when he played this game. Whenever he thought there was no more Rambi, there was more Rambi, and it's amazing. So this stage is just designed around cycling through all the animal bodies and you ascend through the stage. There's not much to it. It's just pure platforming goodness. Also, that was obviously the hardest bonus in the entire game. This one's like a cute mechanic that I found out, that you can make barrels shoot you up super duper slowly, and you can still control your bird at full speeds left and right, which is super interesting. There's another cool tech here. If you glide onto the snake with Dixie and instantly jump off with Radley, you'll maintain the glide, which is the intended technique or strategy that you have to use to be able to get over to the other side with the snake. Really cute bonus. You leave the last Neki alive, and then he bumps into the box. You get the coin. And now this last section is just awesome platforming. You'll be seeing squawks again, which in this game we call squeaks, for reasons you'll see later. He's also recolored into a red bird, not green like in the original. Yeah. Blue will try to fly past all these, hopefully not get hit. Okay, that was pretty good. And last but not least, Rambi.
Casey missed him.
He's there again. I feel like there was like 20 levels in this world with Rambi. That's pretty great. Yeah, and then you need to bounce on this last beat they left alive. And Blue does a double jump for safety. You don't need that, obviously, but it is.
It's actually slightly faster instead of landing on the ground and jumping.
Oh, it
Just
is.
grabs
Okay.
the coin a little earlier.
Today, learn. And now we got Cleaver. This is Uber Cleaver, basically. It's a little bit difficult. more difficult than vanilla, but just a tiny bit. Because on top of the sword in the lava pool, we also have bees and other enemies. So the bees are actually wasps. I don't know what we all call them bees actually. They're just wasps. No one ever thinks about this, but they're actually just wasps. We'll deep into this zinger here to be able to glide over to the other side. This is similar to Lava Glide in the Vanilla Run if you're familiar with that. And then we're going to bait him to the top right so that we can go under him onto the hooks here. And then do the same on this side. Calm down there, buddy. Calm down.
That was way too close. Those hitbox on the bees are very weird, to say the least.
Hey man, just making it more interesting, right?
Yeah, apparently so.
Okay, there has been 2 DK coins that we missed collecting. I wonder why that is. But we'll go into detail later on with that, because there's a reason for that. And there's another stage here, 3-1, which will also skip the DK coin in, but we'll talk about that later. This is Clapper's Chill. The clappers in this stage are not friendly. You can touch them, but they bounce you back into the water and you'll die instantly. And the worst part about it is they clap afterwards too, so that's pretty mean. This bone is pretty interesting. You bounce 4 times on the clover, that's what the ore indicates, and then the coin spawns. Seems like black magic. From a coding standpoint, it's not that difficult. It is basically just a defeat all enemies bonus in disguise, and every bounce counts as a kill. So that's pretty cool. And on top of that, this is the cold world. It's a cold themed world. We have, first of all the lore in this world is ice physics, except for the Bramble stage. And golden seal, by the way. And on top of that, we have these new purple crocs that are actually immune to all damage and just hurt you when you touch them. So you can't jump on them or roll through them. You can also not defeat them with a cannonball or TNT. It just doesn't work. So yeah, if you thought this was difficult, it's probably even more difficult. More difficult than you think anyway. Yeah, and that's the end of that. So, yeah, all of these stages, as I said, were designed with the thought of like keeping a theme to them in mind. So every stage has their own little gimmick, and every world has their own little theme. So this is it's gonna be Caesar's Chase, which is a sort of like an auto-scroller stage, if you will. It's kind of like memorizing the patterns and stuff. So you have this Snapjaw behind you, and he's continuously chasing you. He will get you no matter what if you are targetable. The thing is, he won't target you if you keep collecting these invul barrels, which Blue does here. This bonus stage is pretty neat. It's like a race against the crocodile here. This guy will keep dropping all these pits the same way we do, but you have to race him, and whoever gets to the bottom first gets to the coin. Basically, if he does, then he blocks the coin, and you will not be able to get in there because, as I said, they're invulnerable. This is going to be really interesting and also really difficult, so keep in mind that this can fail, and that wouldn't be a shame. It's a little bit of a time loss, but we're trying to show this off for the sake of the marathon. Okay, yeah, so this was supposed to be a zip.
I'll try one more time.
And by
I'll
zip,
just take the vanilla pass.
Sure. We have all the element in the world, Blueberry. So the right path there that you can see that he skips, it would have actually been the DK coin path. There's 2 different paths for any percent, so this one, the bottom one, doesn't have anything. The top one is for the DK coin.
Yeah,
and yeah, a little bit too short. I believe we're just gonna do the optional path
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
This trick is a little bit difficult, and it requires swapping at the right time, and unfortunately, Blue's controller has some issues with the select button lately, so that's like difficult. That's fine. We're gonna do the top path. This is the intended path to get the DK coin. I believe you're dead.
Oh. No, I was hoping I wasn't. Alright, well, we're wasting even more time.
Yeah,
Dang it.
you locked the cam.
Oh, we didn't lock the cam for a second. Well, I was
Oh, yeah,
confused.
it
I thought I was fine.
Oh, that was great.
Uh,
Yeah, since you were not supposed to die like that, basically, when you get hit arrows, sometimes you get back out of it as if you had an extra life, and then it will lock the camera like that. It's really weird, and I have no clue what really causes it, because in vanilla you don't ever get into a situation like that. But, yeah. So this top path here is for the DK coin. This is the intended way. And this one is really, really difficult. So 1 or 2 mistakes can actually get you killed, and this will already be really close. Okay, we got it there.
I'm the wrong con,
Okay.
too.
Ooh. As you saw, or I guess you didn't because it was invisible, but I can tell you the invulnerability barrier at the end there was the very end before that barrel, or maybe inside the barrel actually, if I recall correctly. So that was really, really lucky. The fish kept getting closer and closer, and yeah, that path is just hard. It's really hard actually. One of the harder things in this game. But nicely done. Honestly, still a really good run. Like that trick, the zip that he attempted is actually really difficult. Next one is a reference to the original. So we used to have Crockett Clamber, I think. This is Cold Head Clamber. Still the same theme with ice, pretty much. We're gonna grab the DK coin really quick. That is actually neatly hidden right behind the start. And yeah, there's gonna be some pretty cool oh, this is gonna be rough now. Yeah, that's probably the better choice. So that was after Blue got hit there, he decided to.
Because I spawned the
because-
croc. Weird. That should be good. Alright, we're good now.
Yeah. The thing is that like this is a ton easier with Dixie. She skips over a lot of croquettes, and
You gotta be kidding me, dude.
we probably don't even know the route with the enough, so it's like it'll be harder. Yeah, like this, for example. Yeah, because usually you wanna go with Dixie here, skipping a bunch of these croquettes. The main gimmick about this stage is actually that you can't really tell what they do until you jump on them. There's even banana lines there that bait you into thinking they do something different sometimes. Like this one doesn't bounce you into the bee like it indicates, for example. Wow. What did you do there? Cool little trick there. So that was actually just a built-in like skip barrel. I have a lot of those throughout Unveiled, and I put them in kind of as like an Easter egg, or more of like a reference to the old warp barrels. I don't want people warping in and out of my stages completely. I'd like them to beat them actually. But like, the original games used to have warp barrels in the first 2 worlds of DKC 1, 2, 3, so you could just literally skip all the stages from world 1 to 3 in with warp barrels. They would quite literally just spawn you from start to finish. And I didn't want that, but I still want to keep death barrels like that in the game. So I made them instead skip sections, but it's also mostly risk versus reward type of situations where you skip a bunch of the stage, but it gets a lot harder because you also skip the midway or something, for example. This is Densetsu no Wave. This is a really cute stage that focuses on having to play with 3 different animal buddies in the same stage, going different paths. Oh, you missed a jump there.
Yeah,
Almost
I know.
saved it with a double jump though. Really nice. So it's kind of interesting. So Rambi is the hidden animal buddy because he's the best, and so he's like actually for the DK core. This is a complete separate path here. But Squeaks and Squidder will actually share the same top path, and it'll be a little bit different depending on which of the 2 you pick, because there's 3 bonuses in the stage. The first one, both animal buddies can access, and the second and third will only be available to Squidder and to Squeaks. So you'll have to play through this stage with all 3 animal buddies to get everything. So blue chooses Squeaks first, and this stage you can actually see why he's called Squeaks, because yeah, the shooting sound is quite silly.
Yeah, it's cute though, especially in the bonus.
Yeah. Super duper high pitched. I don't fully know what caused that. It was certainly not intentional, but we named him after this. I believe there's sound files stored in themes of stages or something, and the OST of this stage actually influenced what the sound of the bird is. So we're gonna quickly try to maneuver through all these things here, deboost here, and then you can later on get to this bonus here. You saw those barrels down there? That's actually where Squidder gets shot into when you enter that with Squidder. So this bonus legit is Squeaks only, which is pretty neat. Nice, nice. Alright. That was a good Flappy Bird section.
Yeah, thank you.
And now for Squidder, which is, I think in this stage it's actually easier with Squidder.
If you're a Squidder fan, you only see him literally 3 times, so
Yeah.
you don't see him a
Squidder
lot.
was hard for me to implement because he barely has any limitations, I think. So he can make his own platforms, and he can move and jump like the Kongs, and he can shoot webs. So it was hard for me to implement him. This section is only tight enough for Squidder to go through. Squeaks can also pass through it, but there's hidden bees at the top. That'll hurt you if you try this.
Nope, 3 out of 3, let's go.
That was a beautiful stage, actually. That was nice.
Well, minus the double Rambi, but
Yeah, minus the Rambi stuff, but I mean, you just wanted to show off more Rambi, right?
oh, absolutely.
Yep, we love those. Yep, it's the fan service, dude. Love to see more Rambi in this. Alright, I'll promise no more Rambi from now on.
Will you?
You can never be sure of that, right? Okay, so up here there's another big boy. That's the trick where we team throw against enemies to be able to do another jump off of it, and then we just steal the DK coin up there. On a golden frog, because we were not supposed to move that way, and die because
I never let
You
go
know-
to Y. That was
well, you
weird.
certainly did.
Apparently so. Okay.
That's fine. That's fine. We just wanted to check if that pit is actually real there, and we cannot confirm it is real. Like, I saw him fall in there, and that was actually, contrary to popular belief, that was actually the fastest way to warp back into the overworld. Believe it or not, that was like a level skip in a way. That too, basically. Should I shut up or?
No, you are
The
good.
commentators curse or?
No,
Okay,
you were
yeah,
good.
we're testing bits here.
We're good.
Hold on, real quick. We're just, making
We're
sure
good.
everything works. having some technical issues with this stage. Don't worry
You
about
are
it.
good.
It is all physics.
I don't
We
usually
should
have
mention
issues
that.
with this stage.
Yeah. It's a pretty interesting stage.
Alright, we're just gonna... Oh boy.
Yeah, so there's a hidden invul barrel there that we can use now that we get there. And yeah, we got around this safely now. There's another hidden cannon down there that you have to activate using the cannonball. And it's just a defeat all the enemies bonus.
I
Nice.
am very... I don't know what I am right now.
You're happy to be here, Blue.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I am. I appreciate it. How you doing, Empty? How's your day?
I'm doing great, man. I'm
Yo,
doing
that's
great.
awesome, man.
The more I see of this stage, the happier I get. So I
Same.
can't complain enough.
Same.
We're just playing this over and over. This is cool, man. Like, I like this. I always like to show this off, so here we are showing it all 3 times because it's so good.
We're good. We're good. I was just enjoying the sightseeing, you know.
Yeah, that's more blue for all of us, right? So that's good. That's exactly what we like to see. So moving on to the second section.
Yep.
Second half of the stage. The stage also has a second half. Just gonna quickly glide over these. There's hidden hooks everywhere here. Calm down, dude. Calm down.
I'm fine. I'm good. We're just gotta get out of this stage, and things are gonna be just sunshine and daisies, you know.
Yeah, this is your final. This is like your final exam here, dude. You're on finals basically, and yeah, this is your last try to redeem yourself. But you're doing good. We're kind of have to backtrack this bonus here and escort this box. This is actually pretty difficult, but Blue is a god gamer, obviously, so he manages to go through this safely and easily.
With the con that I definitely practice and supposed to be right now.
Yes, 100%. Before we started this, he was like, "Oh, dude, I hope I get to play Dixie on this stage. I just don't know how to do it, but hopefully we can arrange it." So yeah, this is still on script, boys.
Absolutely. Yep. Nothing about this is wrong.
No, this is great. You're having a great time, and that's all that matters.
I am having a great time.
So yeah, that's good. And now we're coming up on the last stage of this world, which is Blind Climb. And this is basically just platforming goodness is what I'd call it. It doesn't really necessarily have that much of a gimmick. It's one of the smaller gimmicks that I intended to put in. But it has a lot of very satisfying movement. So there's gonna be a really cool D-boost here to get to the DK coin. Not intended, and it's very difficult, but pretty nice grab there. Probably not difficult for you actually. You seem to nail it every time, but I think it is.
This can be troublesome.
Yep. So we have the bird again, and this time the mountable version, which is actually, it shoots like a minigun or something. You can legit spam the shoot button and it shoots so fast. Kind of interesting how that works. I don't know why it's different. But with the bird, we're able to backtrack all the way into the bonus now. Really nice. There you go. And yeah, now for this final platforming section here, this is Pretty standard platforming, actually. Not much to say about this. We're gonna deboost here, definitely intended. Very intentional deboost.
Yep.
And we're just
That was a world.
Hey.
That's okay.
that was a world. That was definitely a world.
It's
Alright.
okay.
Very nice. So this is Cudgel. In this game, he is quite a bit more difficult because I added brambles. And yeah, there's not much ground to stand on. So he'll keep bouncing. Note that if you bounce like this, just like that, if you land with him at the same time, you'll get stunned for a bit, and you'll be able to swing his club in your face. So now Blue has to adapt and do this with Diddy, and I'm not sure if he practiced this.
No,
but
I have not.
Okay, good. It will be even more exciting if you beat it then. Oh, there's another stun. Okay. Very good. See, this is even more fun for you now.
Impromptu gaming, routing on the fly.
Dude, yeah, we're doing this, man. Like, you had to learn Diddy, man. That's it. This is the time to do it. These are the last 3 shots here, actually. Those are the hardest ones, so... If he does, Blue is actually a Gronk gamer, I believe. Looking good so far. Though these platforms have weird hitboxes, like they extend in very weird ways that you wouldn't imagine. And there you go, man. That was nice. Nice recovery, actually.
Thank you.
That was really nice. Let's get out of this world.
Yes, please.
Yo, let's go.
Get out of that world. We're gonna forget that happened.
We don't look
we
back
don't
on
talk
that,
about
man.
that, right?
From now on, only gold times, dude. So yeah, this is actually this is still in theme with the whole honeycomb stuff, but it adds these new enemies that shoot cannonballs and arrows in like angled in like arcs. So that's pretty cool. And you can also bounce on them if they're the barrels. That was a really neat trick where we had to actually let the cannon guy shoot a cannonball downwards into the cannon itself. Those can trigger the cannons as well to activate the bonus. Oof, yeah, this is gonna be Blue nodding his head in agreement. He loves it. He's feeling it. Alright. He's okay, making it more interesting for a marathon. Intended. Let's go. And he uses Kong back and switches to Diddy as soon as he can. Because he's just like, nah, dude, I'm not having any of that Dixie in my run. Let's go, man. Yeah, this is all just our marathon, obviously.
Obviously.
You can do a lot of things like getting hit and stuff in this game, and it's very exciting. So Blue does it a lot. He wants to be excited. Yeah, and spawn is pretty straightforward. Actually, the way we do it, it's kind of cheesy, stinky cheese, but it's still all right. I'll forgive him for cheesing it. He can do it. He's a speedrunner. Bounce up there, open this, 2-1 jump, which is a slightly higher jump than a normal jump. That is actually a trick. It looked like a normal jump teams up, but it's actually a trick where you blink the B and the A button in rapid succession, and then repress B in a 1-frame window, and then you'll get a slightly higher jump than usual, and that makes you able to team throw over that barrel there. You were not supposed to be able to do that, but he skips quite well through that. Nice. And then we got a little drop down section. Just memorize this. Easy clap.
Easy clap.
In case you were wondering how to do that on a blind playthrough, you don't. You probably die, but you're supposed to do it on Dixie and fluttering downwards, obviously.
Little swag there, just
Yeah, swag it.
totally intended.
Yeah, it's a common trick for people to pull off. You nailed it. So, yeah, this is a hitch and ditch. So we need to do the hitching and the ditching, and basically you jump onto the cart and jump off of it. This bonus is really interesting. This looks like super duper omega easy, and it is. But you actually just collect banana buttons and then you spawn the coin. And people often think like, what is the point of this? But the point of this is actually that later on in the stage there will be a second bonus that'll seemingly have nothing in it, but if you move and stuff in certain ways, you will actually get hit and have to redo it. And that's because there's invisible zingers. So these wasps, they're all visible and they're in the same spot where the banana bunch previously were in the other bonus. So some people might get the hint once they see the bonus that it's actually completely identical. Same title, same map, everything is identical. And then they might get the hint that all the bees were in the spots where the banana bunches used to be. Pretty interesting. If all goes well, you'll not see Blue get hit here, but there's a really tight squeeze at the end there. As you saw, there were 2 banana bunches. So Blue has to squeeze through that and it's quite tight. So sometimes you see sometimes you see people get hit there at the end. We'll see. Oh, that was godly. That was actually godly. Like, this looks so easy to you guys. There were a lot of enemies in there. Like, in case you were wondering, just go back in the VOD and check on all the banana bunches and you'll know where all the enemies are. That's not easy. Alright, moving on to the final section of the stage though. I should add, we have these bee-loons is what we call them. They're friendly beasts that act as platforms, temporary platforms. They're called bee-loons because in the original there were balloons that did the exact same. So they're basically just reskinned balloons. And now we have what we call swag DK coin. This used to be swag balloon, and people were highly against it in speedruns, and then they go, baby rage, swag balloon doesn't save time. And so we recreated the swag balloon section pixel by pixel and actually made people do it because they have to now, because it's a DK coin hidden under there and not a balloon anymore. This is one of my favorite stages and one of everyone's favorite stages, and also the most hated stage. Yo, the horn safe, let's go. That was so that is another death barrel there. Pretty hard to go through, but Blue managed to do it. And this stage is kind of crazy. There's a lot to talk about, and Blue will be in here for a while, so I can start talking about it now, I suppose.
Absolutely.
You have 4 paths and 4 corners in this stage, and each corner of the stage corresponds to an animal buddy. Then you have this path up there that you just saw. Once you bring an animal buddy to the middle of the stage where Blue just brought it, so he cleared out the Rambi Path. He actually got a TNT barrel as a reward for it. That TNT barrel will clear out the path that he just walked through. There's beats in a cord. Don't do me like that, Blue. Take your time.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
My first web was too low. It's okay.
Yeah, this is not surprising. The Squidward path is probably the hardest for all of us. But yeah, so he'll have to redo the Rambi path. That's the difficulty of this stage. It's super duper difficult because you have to do all animal buddies in one go. They don't save. The only difference of it is that the midway barrel is actually not like a midway barrel in that sense. It doesn't save your animal buddies, but it makes it so that you start from the middle now, which makes you able to choose your animal buddies. So you don't have to always go through Rambi to be able to learn the other one. Either way, what I was about to say was bringing the animal buddies back into the middle will make them turn into TNT barrels that then clear out a path that leads to the goalpost. So that's really all. It's really convenient, and that's basically the theme of the stage. You have to clear out all the paths to be able to get to the end. Very nice Squidward section. I should also mention that that DK barrel there is infinitely respawning, so that you can always get back your second Kong in the middle. He does a double jump here to skip all this, does the horn attack to save himself from taking damage, does another double jump into a death barrel. Jumps here to clear out an enemy up top. Nice. Oh, well, yeah. That double jump actually spawned one of the guys too early, so it didn't line up anymore, but that's fine. Nice. Alright, we got that. So now there's 2 paths left, Snake and Bird. And Blue will probably do Bird first. Yep. And this one's pretty tight, but Blue is a god at it. So
The order you do them doesn't matter after Rambi, but I do it from hardest to easiest for me.
Yeah, I usually do that too. I usually start out with Squidward as well, because it's just... the Squidward path is just too hard for me, but... back then I used to think this Squeaks part is the hardest, but there's been so many skips now that you can do reliably that I think it's actually kind of alright. Definitely some pretty tight bird lapping action going on there, but you nailed it, so that's nice. One more V in the corridor to clear, and that's coming from the Radley Path, which is Radley the rattlesnake.
I hate this animal.
No, it's the best, and you're not allowed to hate on it.
Oh, well, too bad I do.
Yeah, so Blue doesn't love the snakes that much because there's a trick called snake double jumps and short hops, and they're not exactly super duper easy to pull off. Blue knows how to do all these things, but he refuses to practice, so he hates the snake. Is that right, Mr. Blueberry?
I practice it seldomly.
Okay, yeah, so he doesn't
keyword
practice.
on the seldomly.
You did that nicely though. That was really cute. There's gonna be more snake later on, but for now, that's that. And that was the end of the stage. And right behind the goalpost, you will find the bonus of the stage, which is a mini version of the entire stage. You'll cycle through all the anima buddies real quick here. And there's been a new trick that has been found just recently, just like a month ago or so, and it's really precise, and we'll see if you can get it, but
I wasn't holding Y.
oh,
Don't know
that was
why.
really close though.
I would have had it too.
Oh, you want to show it off?
Yeah. I let go of Y by accident.
Yeah,
My
that's
brain
right.
was thinking something different. Oh well.
Yeah. So for the record, he got past the obstacle, obviously, but he went into the pit because he wants to show this off for the marathon. There's a cool trick here where you can go past the Rambi box, the Rambi barrel. Beautiful, beautiful. And then you can just skip all of this. So you're supposed to be Rambi there, jump over to the other side, grab Squidward, and then also platform all the way up top with webs. But if we smuggle that bird past Rambi, you can actually skip all of that. So now what Blue does is actually, since he has enough coins, he pays for the flights at Funky in World 3 and World 4. This will make them cost no money later on, and that's pretty important actually, because we need Funky to be able to travel through all the worlds later on, after we beat the game, because a lot of worlds have Lost World stages in them, and the problem is that coins don't save after you quit the game. Not even if you go to the Hong College and save. So you'll have no points if you reset the console, and so this still saves time to be able to go with Funky or P every time. So what you just witnessed was, yeah, I should go into that probably. That was a survival stage, kind of like a mini bonus. You have to just survive for as long as possible. But fortunately, there's this trick where you can roll at just the right time to kill one of the off-screen enemies that throws one of the hooks. And then you can just basically AFK there, take a sip from your bottle or whatever, and rehydrate. Also, this bonus is really neat. That is not the intended way to clear it, but I'm really happy with this speed strat. That is absolutely sick. This is another escort mission, so this time it's the other way around. We have a cannonball, and we're not trying to find the cannon, we're trying to avoid the cannon. In fact, the cannons, because there's a lot of them. And, yeah, by default, these stages have start and select this enabled, so you can always start select out of it if you lose the cannonball, which is also pretty neat. ASM code. Stay hydrated bot. Does stay hydrated bot still exist? I haven't seen that guy in a long time.
Same.
Oh yeah, stay hydrated, chat. It's important. So over here we do some mid-air throws, where we just jump over the cannon and then start throwing. This one's pretty funny. There's just an off-screen cannonball flying into the cannon. This barrel here, I keep wanting to say barrel. This cannon here we take because this is the midway and also the second bonus of the stage. After this one, every other cannon will lead to this bonus instead of the first one. Oh, you did the thing. You did the thing.
Okay. That's fine.
I warned you about this. You cannot crouch there.
I forgot. Okay.
Yeah, we need to do from a 102 file now because yeah, that crash that can happen if you crouch there in that bonus.
I forgot.
That's not a big deal. We can still collect the coin. We'll have to pretend we collect.
I am not the colors on.
The DK coins.
Now, I do have news. I don't know if you're gonna love this,
What's that?
but us here at Speed Doc certainly do. Another $15 from Anonymous. And
Yes.
when Blue said it's MF and Morbin time, I felt that. But that $15 did go and close out the inverted controls.
Oh hell
for
yeah! Thank
the
you.
boss
Thank you
fight.
for all the donations.
Let's go, dude. That's amazing.
Okay.
Yeah. Inverted boss. Inverted K rule is actually super duper hype, man. Oh, I'm excited for that. And you should be scared.
Oh, that's
Just
I
as a
practiced
reminder,
it,
all
it's fine.
proceeds are going to save the children. So thank you everybody for any contribution that you do have.
Yes, thank you so much.
For the donations.
So I'm just doing it for now 102 file because I soft locked. Actually, yeah, no, it's a soft lock, not hard lock. And I cannot resume my file, and obviously I didn't save.
Yeah,
So
we did. I mean, you didn't save, so I mean that's all right.
we're just gonna do everything
It's
from
not that big of a
where we
deal.
were.
Yeah, the coins will be checked off, which is kind of weird, but other than that, it should be fine.
I'm sorry about that.
Don't worry about it. I think at the last marathon, I don't know why you crouched there because that actually caused the thing.
I did that to line myself up with the B, but yeah, I was too far to the right.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll just pretend we'll collect these. There's actually something that changes throughout the game when you beat it. So that's kind of
So there's a DK coin here. I can't collect it anymore.
yeah. That's fine. Save the children and invert the K rule. Inverted controls on K rule are really, really difficult. That sort of stuff threw kids off in 1995 already. and it's even worse on this game. Definitely not easy. You can salvage this ball with Diddy here. This is Diddy is very good at salvaging balls in this stage because you actually just grab the ball from the front, no matter where you stand, and it instantly grabs it from the front. So you can actually stand with your back facing towards the ball and still grab it out of a cannon, seemingly, without activating it, which is amazing. There's some hard sections here to make you drop the ball into the pits, but we get through those nicely. And yeah, so this final section is just clearing out the path here for with the bees. We deboost through this. These last two bees we can actually deboost through, but we still needed the candle for the third bee there. So this is Team Up Trouble. This one's really interesting actually. You have your two Kongs at all times, hopefully, if you don't get hit. And this is all about teaming up and abusing the team up mechanic. Actually quite interesting. So there's one hidden mechanic in vanilla DKC2. This is not like coded in or anything. But if you team up in this game, you can walk on honey as if it was not sticky. And you need this actually in a couple sections of this. A couple of people proved that the stage is beatable without teaming up. I mean, not completely, but the first half is almost beatable. But it makes it a lot more.
Yeah, so there's a
difficult.
DK coin there. I just collected it.
Yep, there will be a DK coin down there. We'll just have to pretend we got it.
I'm just gonna announce every time it doesn't show up, so you all know.
Yeah. Don't worry about it too much. It's not a big deal. That's just what happens. It was an unfortunate crash, and we didn't have a like uncompleted file, obviously, because you cannot predict where things are gonna crash. So it's more like a safety save, but that's fine. We can. I mean, the DK coin is not like the super interesting stuff anyway. Rather, the locations are. But showing off the bonuses is what's really important, yeah, and you can see this, and that's amazing. And we got inverted K rule, which is insane.
Yes, thank you so much again.
Yeah, I'm
It's
really
fun.
excited for that actually, because that's always a treat to watch. I still don't know how you do that. It's amazing. But that crash was a minor inconvenience, but it was a cost we had to pay for. We had to sacrifice for speed, you know, so. Blue has a lot of crazy strats, and some of them may or may not be that marathon safe, so, but I'm like still appreciating that we can show them off. Because they are really, really cool, and show like the max potential of this game. Alright, we do another big ball here to skip this. We're getting the schedule back on track. Hell yeah, Blue, you hear that?
I don't mean to, it'll make me feel worse.
No, you're doing great. You're doing great. Alright, here's the king, King Zing. Don't sleep on the king, he's slower in this game because this is 1.0 and 1.0 makes the king slower for whatever reason. But, yeah, this is the main empty scissor recipe of how to make a boss harder.
Yeah,
just add some Brambo's forehead.
And the random red circular bee.
It's not random, bro. It's literally circling in a perfect circular motion around a block of brambles. It couldn't be less random. This bee is perfection. I felt like Bob Ross painting a bee on an empty canvas book full of brambles, and it just worked. It was legit chef's kiss when I finished it.
So this is where a bonus coin will drop.
Yeah, we'll just get the guitar solo. It's more poggers anyway. So, Eerie Interlude is the ghostly world, and this one starts off right with a really, really cool gimmick that I'm really proud of. So this is Warp Woods, actually. And you'll see these signposts. Hold on, did you just... Oh, okay, yeah. I was a bit confused that you didn't warp there, but you didn't trigger the warp, I suppose, yeah.
I didn't trigger the warp now.
Yeah, so there's these signposts that once you go past, you warp into another ghost that you can see. And the cool thing about this is actually that all these ghosts, as you can see here, completely maintain your momentum. So whatever you're doing, you continue doing after you warp, just like that. So you did a roll mid-air, and then it transferred the roll into the next one. And you can also skip through solid walls, as you saw there, and here you need a roll to be able to jump out of, to jump on the barrels. And then in a second, you'll be able to see what else you can do. You can finish the guy off with a team throw, and instead use that box, carry it all the way through the warp, to be able to open this bonus here.
So the coin's above, I just collected it, but you couldn't see it.
Ooh, yeah. First try though on this bonus, that's sick. That is the fastest strat in that bonus, but there's a lot of different strats for that bonus. So, super cool, there's a lot of different solutions there. Yeah, usually we can crouch through that B, but that's fine. We're at the end of it anyway. There's a DK coin. We just collected that. And this is the end of the stage. We're coming from below, warping into the last room. Very neat stage. Very nicely executed too.
So the Fabled 4 is back now.
Yeah.
So this
Another
timer is
squeeze.
extremely tight when you first do this, because people will knock 4 hooks, then kill him. And they don't realize that you can just kill him on the 4th.
Yeah, because this is once again another beat all the enemies in disguise bonus. Think about it that way, you have to beat 4 enemies, and each hook that you kill by shooting it counts as a killed sprite. So that'll count towards the kill count, and a lot of people don't realize, as Blue said, that you can just basically clear 3 hooks and then kill the dude. This is quite the twist. This is what usually would be Haunted Hall, but instead this is called Hornet Hall, which is interesting. And yeah, so it's just this spooky little house that you have to maneuver through, and it's just a lot of tight platforming. Can we call this platforming? Flying? Flapping?
Precision flying, I guess. I don't know.
Precision flapping. Yep. Precision is the right word for this, because yeah, a lot of this is really tight indeed. And later on in this level, you will actually see another section that looks just pretty much just like the...
There's a DK coin there I just picked up.
There's a DK coin in there. There's a section later on here, actually, after the screen transition, that is just like that World 3 stage you saw before, with the Snapjaw chasing you in water, and you have transform barrels that will actually block you. If you enter them, you lose a lot of time, and then the fish is able to catch up to you. But we go through this, and there's a hidden pathway behind this and a bonus.
Shouts to Void.
Shoutouts to Void, dude.
Yeah,
What a strat.
that's a really cool
So
strat.
yeah, that's much easier. Yeah, we'll have to avoid all these transform bears at all costs.
Yep.
They
All-
basically don't
every
do
single
anything
one.
but slow you down if you get sucked into them like that. That's fine, you can allow yourself to pick up one in there and still make it. That's a void, yeah. The void with 26 zeros. There you go. Also pretty good stage. This one is one of my favorites, and that's because it has had so many iterations and changes. It's crazy actually. This stage used to be. It went from awful to godlike, if you will. The reason because that happens. That happens. But yeah, this is Zoom Zoom actually. It really is because you got the wind mechanic, and that always makes you go fast, and that's already been super fun and vanilla. But it's even crazier in this game sometimes because you'll see what I mean. There's some crazy stuff that we can do later on, and well, this stage used to be pretty bad because I used the wrong ledges. There was a platform that had ledges that would eat your rolls, and you couldn't really bypass it at all. This stage is this bonus is hyper speed bonus, as you can see. It's already over. Not the X.
Yeah,
I
you
love
blink,
this.
you miss it.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, there's some cool stuff in here. The other bonus here will also be pretty interesting. So we wait until the cannon shoots back, backtrack and wait for the cannonball to arrive, and then we can enter it. And you'll see two circles here made out of stars. This big one here and the small one up top. Once you select all stars, there will be a point spawn in the top right as you saw, but also the DK coin on the left side. Which is interesting because a lot of people miss that when they collect everything in order. And then this last trick is really cool. To remind you of some SMW Yoshi stuff. Grab the snake, dismount the snake. Done. Yeah, so that's really cool. I like that ending a lot.
But what
This-
happens
this
to the
stage-
snake?
Well, it comes back in this
So this
one.
is like the
We just
lore of it.
revived
Like you kind of killed it, and now you're kind of like climbing back the way to reality.
We're ascending, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's also the stage
I'd
is called
say-
Decaying Depths. It's kind of cute, a little lore.
I love. I don't know. I love Rambi, but I have to admit, like Rambi is usually the Yoshi of this game, and it hurts
Yeah.
me. But like, this is the snake level, basically. If you're familiar with Toxic Tower from the original game, then yeah, the stage is basically that. It's a lot about. Well, if you want to speedrun this is a lot about double jumping with the snake and short hopping. Pretty precise tricks. Well, short hops not so much. They're free, but actual true double jumps would be a 3-frame window to hit, and there's not really visual indicator for them on when to hit that. It's just you have to feel it out. But yeah, the stage is really interesting in the way that you have to ascend all the way to the top and then descend later on back at the bottom with the Kongs. The reason for that is there's things that we can't do with the snake.
You see at the
Um,
very beginning of the stage there was a cannon, and you know, you can't do a cannon without hands.
Yeah, snakes don't have hands, which means you can't pick up cannonballs. So we'll have to figure that out with the Kong somehow, and we will show this off in a second. This is really cool. So
Now we're gonna
turn
fall
back to
all
the
the way
Kongs,
back
and
down.
all the way back down again. Exactly. And there was a bonus on the way that we didn't grab because it doesn't do anything once we are the snake.
The
Because
DK coin
if you
here.
enter this on the snake, you'll be the snake still. There was a DK coin behind that guy, exactly. But this next bonus, usually if you would enter this while being the snake, you would be the actual snake in the bonus. But the difference is, when you enter this with the Kongs, you'll have a mountable snake, which means you can also dismount it, which is necessary in this bonus to be able to hold on to that honey there and be able to grab the coin. Now after you beat this, you get sent back all the way to the bottom of the stage, and there's a hidden cannonball behind the cannon that you can pick up with the Kongs to activate the cannon. And that's the last bonus in here. That's really cool, and after you beat it, you get sent back all the way to the top, so you can naturally beat it. Freezing Frenzy is awesome. I love this one. More cold platforming, meaning slippery hills and stuff, but this is generally super awesome platforming, just platforming goodness. And we're skipping the DK coin here. Once again, we're gonna go into that later. All these crocs that are light blue or purple, you can't touch them. They're invulnerable and they'll hurt you upon touching. They're basically like just like zingers, except yeah, more like red zingers. You can't hurt them at all, not with TNT or barrels anyway. So this is really, really tight and specific platforming, and it's definitely faster with Diddy, but can be slightly easier at times with Dixie. Kind of a good mix for both. You saw a little moonwalk there. That was to prepare for the ghost ropes, to change the cycle in which they spawn. And then there's going to be a bonus here, and afterwards we're going to go towards the last bonus, which we'll have to use the clobber for here. And that's going to be really nice. So this is just more platforming, going through this until you get to the coin. But no, this is the fun part. So here we're going to use the clobber that we can find. And we're going to do an upward throw, so it rolls slowly on the ground. We're going to utilize a hidden barrel at the top of the screen that shoots us along with it, so we don't despawn it, and then it'll crush open this wall to enter the bonus. And this one, this bonus is about collecting the coins. We're throwing our girlfriend for the sacrifice, but it was a worth it one.
You always are solo Diddy entering the boss, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, so this boss is a little bit of like a small adventure, maybe like a little bit of a puzzle, because you always enter this as Diddy only. That is a forced Kong that you have to get, but then you re-get the second Kong here at the next section, as you saw. Then you try to climb up these ropes, you get into the next section. You can do like a chain roll here to kill all these shadow neckies, if you want to call them like that, shadows, in a row. And we're gonna do the exact same on the third phase. You can actually chain rolls really nicely if you time it correctly, and you do this triple roll in a way, and it's just beautiful. Good fight, really good fight. Once again, the coin will be dropping here.
Yes.
Just keep in mind we got the coin now. And we're moving on to Frostbite Fortress. World 6 is one of the harder worlds, yet one of the more awesome worlds. Like almost every stage in this is actually super awesome, I think at least. They have very special gimmicks. In this stage in particular, the water hurts you. You have to grab invulnerability barrels to be able to go through them without getting hurt. And this is very tight and very difficult at times, but Blue is very good at this stage usually, so it should be good. Commentator's curse, obviously, but
Yeah.
we'll see.
Another Shot cave, we're
No,
good.
hey man, no pressure, dude.
I think we had enough hurdles as it is, but
What could possibly go wrong? No, you got this. It's all good. But yeah, this is awesome. This is just some really good platforming. The intended solution for this one is to be able to grab that guy up there. We call those cat o'9 They kind of grab you and swing you around. Don't worry, you got 14 seconds left.
I don't know why sometimes. Yeah, I've been having issues with him not sliding. I don't understand what's causing that.
Yeah. So what Blue did there was a strat to just slide past the B because there's a gap there, and then you can skip it that way. Alternatively, you can jump past the B if you are on the right side. Go on the left side, by the way. If you want to learn that strat, you can do that. I don't know if the slide is actually faster or not, but you can jump past the B too.
Oh, there's a
over here,
DK
we'll
coin
have
in the
to-
bottom left corner I just picked up.
Yeah, I do realize I do have a lot of invis DK coins.
Yeah.
That's not
Yes,
great.
you do.
Yeah.
That I am aware of.
Some people pointed that out in some playthroughs too. Alright, this one's one of my favorite stages. This is really, really awesome. So this is called Blast Zone. And Blast Zone is kind of like your Bramble Blast type stage. It's just a lot of shooting barrels all the way to the top of the stage. It's pretty cool. On top of that, we have this new enemy here called the Brightmare, which is a circle. It's kind of like, imagine it to be like a boo ring. There's one more thing I should mention. Not everyone can see, but those are, it's seemingly 4 bees at the same time. That go in a circle, and you have to avoid all 4 of them. Not everyone can see 4 of them at the same time. Some of you will only see 2. That's because it's dependent on the settings of FPS you're watching it at. It's like no kidding, actually.
Okay, so
The reason
I got the
Yeah,
DK
so
coin.
we-
I didn't get the bonus coin. I need to get the bonus coin now.
Yep, you were supposed to hit the beetle as well. But
Yeah,
we got the
that's
DK
okay.
coin, and now we can get the bonus coin.
All right, just get the bonus coin.
I can explain the mechanics behind the B real quick as to why people have to be on 60 FPS in order to see all frames of the B. That's because in reality, it's actually just every B ring here is one single B going at hyperspeed. Think of it as like helicopter rollerblades, basically. They go so fast, they are appearing to be multiple spots at the same time, except in this game, also, each one of those spots has a hurt box. That makes sense. And so, since it goes super duper fast at like 30 FPS, you will only be able to see 2 Bs, and some people are like, yo, what did you get hit by just now? This is easy. Why do you jump into the Bs and stuff? But it's actually always 4 Bs at the same time. Thankfully, this game runs at 60 FPS, so at least when you play it on CRT, on original hardware on console, on EMU, you'll see it just fine, but it's mostly a video or streaming issue. You think the rotor blades of helicopter? Well, how do you know though? Have you tried it yet? I need some more testing on that. You can't always be sure, right? Alright, so this, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is Mr. Blueberry26 favorite stage.
This is my favorite stage.
Yeah, that's because it's super sick platforming, right? You think you value your fingers more? Okay, well, it'll be a mystery to be solved. Oh yeah, that happens sometimes. big hitbox.
I think it's called by
was
camera, I think.
Yeah. Don't worry about it. You like it so much you want to replay the stage.
Right?
But yeah, this stage is called Castle Phobia, a mixture of castle and claustrophobia, because it's very tight corridors. And that's basically all there is to it. There's this really cool gimmick where you can shoot into separated walls and separated rooms. So as you can see, these barrels point into the rooms and they squeeze you through the wall actually, which is what I found out, and then I utilized this to make a lot of little extra rooms here. There's a bonus to the right here. It's pretty hard to enter, but he nailed it. And there's a really cool mechanic here. So the mechanic utilized, there's a rat down there in the bottom that'll only keep going. It'll only start walking after like 5 seconds or so have passed. As you can see, now it started walking. And the reason that coin up there spawned, you could not see it because it was off screen, but you were actually supposed to kill the rat. The only way you can do that in time, though, is by team throwing your other partner into the rat's path. Then you collected an invulnerability barrel, and that means both of your partners are invulnerable, even though the other one is not flashing white. It is still invulnerable. So if you throw it down on the floor, then it'll still be invulnerable, although it is on the ground, which is amazing. And then the rat just walks into you or into the other Kong and will get hit by it, and you spawn the coin that way. We should also note that these spinies, which are the porcupine thingies that you can see, they can only be rolled through from front side. And the way this game checks it is by just checking whether you are facing their way or not. So if they drop down on you like that, it looks like you're rolling from below them, but the game really just checks whether you're facing them. So if you're rolling while facing to the right side and they're coming from the left, you'll get hit no matter what. So what Blue did there actually for the double roll was roll left, roll back right, roll left again, roll back right. Bait out the cutters. Team throw this guy. There's gonna be another one. Team throw him. A little bit of a miss, but that's alright. And then we just deboost through that guy. And yeah, final goal obviously has the DK coin. Easy. There you go. It's a pretty short window. I don't know how many frames that is, but that's straight up the gold
7,
target from Vanilla. 7?
I think Webwood's
Okay,
7, yeah.
I think I didn't change it.
Yeah, so it should
So
be
be
7
7.
then.
This is Buzzer Brightmare, so get your shades out, or else you'll lose your eyesight. Yeah, fun fact actually, once he gets hit here, as you can see, every time the game pauses a little bit, or when he swaps Kongs, or when he pauses it, you can see that it's only 1B because the game pauses for a second. Quite interesting. Every little flash and stuff will actually pause it. And yeah. The main gimmick about this stage are these bees, obviously. Also the hyperspeed cats that'll pick you up and throw you into pits. And there's also another gimmick, a hidden gimmick, that disables the A button. And the A button in this game is used for teaming up with your Kongs. So you legit can team throw with Kongs, which would make this a whole lot easier because you can skip so much with it. But that's not doable in this stage. So we just deboost through this. That was intentional actually. That was not intentional. But it happens. This one's a pretty difficult stage anyway, so we'll have to see how this goes. But this is also one of the longest stages in the game, so it's pretty unforgiving once you get hit or lose your second Kong even. There you go. So that's the deboost we wanted to do, but we were only on one Kong in the first playthrough. So we're trying to get into this bonus here with the deboost as intended, and then, or not as intended, but as intended in the speedrun. Now this is complete RNG, this bonus. I love it, but the speedrunners hate it. So you kind of just gotta jump into these cats and they'll throw you up. And sometimes you can chain them all together in the correct way, so it's super fluent, and other times, like this one, we get unlucky and they don't pick you up right away, unfortunately. And yeah, we do another deboost here to skip this entire section into this barrel, which is really nice. Good chunky time save, and then we'll go to the end of the section to the left here and drop down into another bonus that you can find right there in the bird's nest. And this one is just pure platforming, but a lot of people struggle with grabbing the rope up top. This bonus is infamous for that. It's really hard to grab that rope up there. I don't know why.
Yeah, I used it.
Yeah, there you go. We did it, boys.
You also have to get like a max hover there too.
Yes. The platform there is very specific, and a very specific spot that is hard to reach. I think this is one of the tightest bonuses too. The timer is super tight for what you have to do.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. I was very unforgiving when I designed this. It happens. It happens. I wanted it to be more difficult, but here we are. Yeah, this is another cool tech. I don't know if you can really call it tech, but sometimes in this stage you want to utilize the cruncher enemies, which are the big buff dudes, to just bounce off of them. Essentially like an extra little jump. And then up here there's the DK coin that we just grabbed. And now we finish the stage completely. Very nice. Cleaver's Cauldron has another little skip at the start of the stage. Down here there's a barrel. Yeah, you want to roll through that spiny team throw up here, get into that secret section here for the DK coin. Perfect. Yeah, the Kong disappeared there, so he couldn't team up. Kind of slid off there, and then up here's the decoy coin, and then we go back into the main path. And yeah, once again, these red enemies are untouchable, and they're really fast. And then, oof. Okay, yeah, that works. So Dixie's hitbox actually shrinks when you stay still on the rope. That's the thing you can do. Very nice platforming through that. And this stage has a lot of insanely hard platforming in the speedrun way. That was another moonwalk to manip where these guys are going. If you do a very high to one jump on the highest frame, on the highest pixel, you can actually get up top there. Oh wow, you just did that. Okay. And yeah, you can. That's not actually the intended way.
No, it's not. Sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. My intended way is actually insanely tedious and very difficult. So you're supposed to pick up a beetle, put it up there, and then just jump on it. And then the rest of this is just pretty tight platforming. I'm gonna use this little shortcut to skip some of the section. And then there's gonna be one more bonus here, which is just collecting the stars. Very nice. Ooh. That's a long death actually. That was right at the end of the stage. So that was just before the goalpost. That actually hurts a little.
It's okay.
There are construction workers or something at your place right now?
No, someone's knocking on my door. I'm pretty sure it's just my dad. There's nothing I can do about it.
Very
Why
nice.
he hasn't stopped yet. I'm sorry about this.
The marathon dad. He wants to be part of the show.
I'm trying to be professional and focus. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And it's not doing that good with focusing right now.
No worries, it's not that big of a deal.
I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Well, alright. We got through this now, finally. Oh, well. Don't be stressing, you got this.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. Do what you have to do for it. Like real quick. I mean, he would have to be there for like another hour or so. We're watching Empty Chair right now on commentary. Sorry this had to happen. This was not planned.
Sorry.
It's all good. Don't let the guys wait.
No. Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry.
All good, all good. Calm down.
Yeah, hopefully you don't let it bother you. Doesn't bother me at all. We still got a bunch of run to go through, and I am not sweating it.
Yeah, it's all right, man. We have to get through this this run, and it's a gorgeous run so far. So don't be sweating it. It's what it is.
Man, I struggled with the original DKC games as they are. This mod looks impossible. I think I would never be able to finish this.
Oh yeah, it is impossible. Blue finishes this game in like 2 hours or so, and I tried to 102 this game couple weeks ago again, and it took me like 7 hours. So, and I'm the creator of it. So yeah. Funny enough, I actually learned how to speedrun a lot of the stages just by designing them, because I had to keep going in them and replaying them to make sure they work. And that's how I just learned speedrunning them on the fly. But I only have those dev speedruns basically. I don't really have those the speedruns they found. So they found a lot more tech while they were learning the game and stuff, and so you can beat it a lot faster.
Interesting for sure that people actually picked it up and like, oh, this is considered almost a full release that people want to run. How long did it take you to make this?
Just working on it was roughly 4.5 years.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I mean, it shows for sure.
I don't usually have this much trouble with these stages. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Don't worry about it. I can go in depth a little bit about like how this came to be. So I started this as kind of like a fun project. It was not actually meant to be a project that I'd ever finished. I found like some editing tools on the internet, and they're not like Luna Magic or anything like that. Nobody knows about these things. They're super hidden in some super hidden small forums and stuff. And I don't want to call anyone out, but I'm pretty sure the hacking community was also not like super inviting and stuff. They were pretty elitist back then, and I had to learn all this stuff myself. And I'm not like a coding guy really, so I just used the tools I was given and started like reading myself into them. And so one day I started creating stage in World 1 while I was streaming.
I'm sorry, did I do the bonus?
This is awesome.
Sorry, did I do the bonus?
Yeah, you did do the bonus.
Okay.
And so people told me, yo, this stage is awesome. You should do an entire game. I was like, oh, you think so? And then I started doing World 1, and then World 1 was finished, and then I just released it for funsies. Still wasn't sure if I should release it. Back then, the game didn't have a name yet either. And then I started doing World 2 update, World 3 update, started making trailers for it, and then once we got to World 3, I knew, yeah, this has to be a game someday. And quite an awesome journey, actually. So this is Cast Task. This is one of my favorite stages, and a lot of people give me a lot of good credit for it because it's actually kind of, the design is just unlike anything you've seen in vanilla. So this is basically the same as Toxic Tower, but you have no enemies, not a single enemy in this stage. It is all just barrels, and the barrels are conveniently placed to block your path, and this is one of the ultimately hardest stages in the game. Being able to speedrun this makes it a lot easier, I'll admit. Like once you've played this a couple of times, it gets a lot easier. But I've seen people take well over like 200 attempts on this, and some people even gave up here, which is sad because it's like one of the very last stages of the game. So that's how difficult it is, that people were committed to go all the way to here and then still give up. As you can see, it's Kong cycling, so each entrance gives you the opposite Kong from the overworld. So Blue did an intentional death here to swap back to Diddy because he's more confident with Diddy and he's also slightly faster.
It's also the bonus. I just want to show off the bonus. If I can't, I'll do it back Dixie. It's fine.
Oh yeah, the bonus is like a really cool strat that got found because you're supposed to enter the bonus with Dixie, but there's a really obscure strat that people found that makes it possible to enter it with Diddy, which is amazing. And yeah, so this entire stage is based around not picking up barrels or rolling past barrels, which is difficult for a lot of people because for this one, like this one right here, to maintain momentum while still rolling through the barrel, you have to press Y to initiate the roll, then let go of Y in the middle of the barrel, then repress it after you pass the barrel, because everything in this game is the Y button. So grabbing stuff is the Y button, letting go of the Y button makes you throw things, and going fast is holding down Y button, and jumping further is holding down Y button, and rolling is Y button. So that's why people usually say stuff like keep calm and press Y, or if you don't press Y, you're dead. That's usually the gist of it. Neither nor. to answer the question in chat, is this custom coding or drag and drop WYSIWYG? I don't even know how to pronounce that. It's neither nor. Mostly the game is not custom coding because this was just edited, but it's not. How do I say this?
I accidentally hit the
Edit
ledge, so you didn't see it, but when you throw a barrel, you get invul frames, and you're still falling. And then by the time that you get to the bonus exit, it takes... Actually, I'll show it off. It takes priority, and because I'm in front of the bonus exit, I get sucked into the bonus exit before the damage figures out that Diddy has to die. So that's how Diddy gets kind of smuggled into the bonus. Otherwise,
Yeah,
the barrel
it's
you saw...
impressive.
Yeah. Otherwise, the barrel you saw earlier, you're supposed to do it with Dixie and Dixie only, because Dixie gets quite the advantage over top of where they are.
Yeah. So you'll see Blue do a throw with a barrel that'll be grabbing him invul frames to be able to enter the bonus. We'll have to do another intentional death here to swap back to Diddy. But yeah, to answer the question is, yeah, it is a very small amount of custom coding. For example, the color cheat code is custom coding, and some sprites are modified in ways, but I'm not a coder, so for ASM coding, I had a buddy of mine help me out. That was Fred from the G&G community, and he's great and he's awesome. But 90% of this hack is in custom coding. So we entered the regular way now with Dixie, which is fine, and that's the way to do it. And basically there were just tools to be able to modify stuff. Obviously it is like drag and drop, switch things around, but it's not just dragging and dropping sprites to other places. You can also change them. You can change the attributes and how they behave. You've seen a lot of enemies in this game that were not the way they were in vanilla. I don't know if that's custom coding or not, but I just figured it out myself with an editor. So I don't know. What I'm trying to say is I didn't write ASM code. I figured it out with tools and stuff, and it wasn't easy. It wasn't an easy journey, but it worked out in the end. Yeah, that's fine, Blue. Don't worry about it. Yeah, so most of this game is just it's rearranged and stuff, but this is definitely not the way vanilla was. So how do I say it? It is fully custom. Stages are fully customized, yet it is not custom code, if that makes sense. You know, every tile set is different and rearranged. Every bonus is in a different spot, and the bonus itself is different. Every stage is completely different. Enemy placements and even enemy sprites are adjusted. You even have more bonus content that is extra content that was not in the game, which is really nice, and that is actually custom code done by my friend Fred, which you'll see after we beat K. Rool. There will be additional content then that just unlocks after you beat it. While this hack obviously is not perfect in all ways, there's still some things that can occur, some stuff that can happen. It has like, I don't know if it has any soft locks or anything like that. It was just very well tested over the 4 years. We had a lot of playtesters. This was where the DK coin was, by the way. So we grabbed that too. Then at the end of the stage, we go past this no winky sign, which we'll see what that's about later. But yeah, this hack has been thoroughly tested. A lot of people don't like it that much because they think it's too hard. A lot of people think that this is Kaizo. This is not Kaizo. It is difficult, but it's not Kaizo.
It definitely gives me Kaizo-esque vibes.
Yeah, well, the thing is that, like, the stage you've just seen, for example, Cast Task, has definitely Kaizo elements, because there's not much around, like, you can't really solve it in another way. So, like, my definition of Kaizo was always, like, there's just this one solution to it, and you have to do it that way. Basically, the dev forces you to do something in a certain way, and that's not the case in most of this hack. But then there's some stages like 4-3, Bramble Antics, which was, I'd say, Kaizo Light probably, and then Cast Test, which also has Kaizo elements to it. But it's yeah.
I see
It's
a
hard to
lot of value in that it doesn't force some linear play. Yeah, actually, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, that's my definition of Kaizo anyway, because when you watch like SNW Kaizos, that's literally what defines them. That you have to do a certain thing or you don't get through it. There's not much room there for alternate strats. Whereas in this game, for example, this stage, you can go literally any direction. Even it's not even like a linear stage. You can go any direction. It's like a huge maze almost. It's like pick your path type stuff. And the fact that you even have two Kongs that do different things, you could just roll through a gap, you can jump over a gap, or you can glide over a gap, makes it much more casual friendly than you would think. Obviously, this game is really, really hard, and it is meant to be played by advanced DKC players, meaning people that have at least beaten the original game. I didn't think of that. This was basically designed for that. Also, we're trying to do a cool trick here to get an extra jump off of a roll, skipping through that vine here. There you go. That is not intended, but people have found it, and it's amazing. But yeah, I'd say this game has Kaizo elements, and part of it will show here in K. Rool as well. This K. Rool fight is absolutely insane, and probably the hardest part of the any percent playthrough. And like, I'm not even lying, this boss is actually the hardest part of it. But people tend to forget that there's actual Donkey Kaizos, because DKC ROM hacks are not very very well known and prevalent around the internet. So whenever people go from SMW Kaizos to playing a slightly harder DKC ROM hack, they think it's super duper Kaizo, just because we don't have a reference point in this community. But for the people that are actually more interested in these type of things, they can look up DKC2 ROM hacks or 3 or DKC1 ROM hacks by Maru, which is a Japanese ROM hack creator, and he makes purely Kaizo hacks, like actual Kaizo hacks. They don't look nearly as, I don't want to say polished as this, but they don't really mind messy tile sets and stuff like that. Keep in mind that DKC games don't have squares you can place like SNW. It's not like literal build your level type thing. Sometimes you have parts of a stage of a tile set that fills like not even a quarter of the square, if you know what I mean. So the tiles can get very messy, and if you want to see true Kaizo hacks, you can look those up on YouTube. They're actually insane, and I wouldn't touch those without save states. Yeah, Limbo, you saw that. That name is actually, I put in references here and there. That name is actually a reference to the game Limbo, believe it or not, because the black and white and stuff. And to a more eerie extent, the theme behind it was that the souls of the people or the enemies that die throughout the game get all gathered there and come back up, because the Lonesome Limbo stage itself had every single type of enemy in the game. Kind of a mix of everything, a little bit. Oh, you saw it from the splits. Yeah, right. So this purple Kong thing here, this is actually the reverse. The blue is actually going reverse right now. And usually that's very hard, but we found a really cool tech called upright. We literally just hold upright and then the Kong will go left all the time. But once it switches, or no, down right, I think, yeah. Since down it will be reversed, it'll be up and left, so he goes left all the time. But once the invo switches, or the reverse switches off, you'll automatically crouch, not get sucked into the cannon, which is a really cool tech. Okay, so we beat the any percent part of the game. That was really nice. And now we're gonna go towards the optional point of the game. And yes, this does get harder. A lot harder. So yeah, we're gonna go into the Lost World now. We'll have to wait out this cutscene, else the game doesn't save this. We'll have to wait till the credits start to be able to reset the console. But yeah, there's gonna be some crazy stuff going on now. We're gonna be entering the Lost World very soon. But first, we need to do some more optional content that is only available to this game. And this is the reason why we skipped the DK coins beforehand. This is really neat, actually. So there's gonna be extra DK coins. Specifically, one new extra DK coin, which is a purple one, per world. And they only get unlocked once you beat K-Rool, and that is custom code. That's actually ASM coding. There's things in this game that only get unlocked once K-Rool gets beaten, and there's one stage per world that gets modified after K-Rool gets beaten. So you'll see some interesting stuff here where we play stages you've already seen with a new little twist on them. And yeah, the reason why we skip those DK coins, the natural ones of the stage, is because we can collect them while we get the purple one as well. Alright, and now we go back to the game, and we'll start this again on and gonna collect the DK coins. So this one once again will be checked off already, but this is the easiest one in World 6. We simply just crush this signpost here, because much love for Winky, so we need to crush the Abomination and get the purple DK coin of World 6. Then
there we go. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. This is actually funny because on a blind playthrough, when this was first released and people didn't know what this was on about, people hated me and literally banned me in chats when it was revealed that there was a no Winky sign at the top of the tower. But to their surprise, you can actually destroy it and spawn a DK coin from it. So that cleared me of suspicion, I suppose. Yeah, and we're so there was a barrel in this stage pointing upwards in the very beginning of the stage. It only spawns after you beat K-Rool, and then you get access to this complete extra path that is like a mini stage in its own, and you have to fly through all this stuff to be able to get the purple DK coin of this stage and this world. Ooh, late hit taken there. Unfortunate. That bramble, that one extended unusually far. That was crazy, actually. But yeah, that extra path is pretty difficult. Most of these extra DK coins, we call them the Cleaver coins, by the way, because the lore is that Cleaver has hidden these himself, and the one that proves worthy will be able to enter the Lost World. I should also go into detail here. It's kind of interesting when you play the original game. There's 75 crammed points, which are the ones you get from bonuses. and you have to pick Clubba, the guy that guards the Lost World entrance, 15 Krem coins each per entrance. And there's 5 Lost World stages, so it perfectly adds up to 75 coins, basically. And yeah, in this game, not only do you have to pay the 15 Krem coins at each entrance. There you go, nicely done. We got the DK coin, the Club coin. The thing is also that Clubba's payment option will straight up not even be available to pick if you don't have all the DK coins in base game. And that includes the Clubba coins, which is a really smart workaround to have the player collect all the DK coins in the game to be able to get 102%. Because in the original game, there's another DK coin up here that we can get. Yep. In the original game, you don't actually get percentage for DK coin. And so you don't get percentage in this game for it either, but that's workaround to have the player collect everything to be able to get to Lost World, which gives you the remaining percentage. So, in other words, you do have to get all DK coins in this game. The original 1-2% category on the vanilla game has the player still collect all DK coins, just for the sake of completion. It's not actually counting towards the percentage count, but people still do it. Like a little code of honor or something. And then pretty late into the stage, there's the Clava coin here. When you go into the really, really small pit here, very well hidden in the stage, there will be a complete extra section here. Yeah, this one's really tight. Oof. And some precision platforming. Keep in mind the floor is also slippery, as you can see. Nicely done. So at the end of it, there's the Clava coin of this world. Boom. Got it. And now we'll go to the next one, which is 4, I mean. And this one's definitely the easiest of them. It is just, in Cannon Clash, there's another cannon added that you have to find. Just some extra cannon. And well, I was being a little bit sneaky there, just adding some extra cannons somewhere. So you kind of have to memorize all cannons that you've had before. That's fine. That's fine. And now we're back on 2 Kongs. We're gonna go past this here, and then right over there, there's actually gonna nice save actually. There's gonna be that extra cannon that spawns, which is down below in the swamp here. Pretty well hidden. And then you get sent into this honeycomb room with the Clubba coin inside. Alright, 3-1. This is definitely the hardest Clubba coin of them all. This is the hardest one for sure, and this may take an attempt or two. Because this stage has once you get all the way to the end of the stage, you will find a bonus timer appear on top of you, which was also not a thing that happened before. And that bonus timer, I believe, was 60 seconds, 65, I forgot, but it counts down, and once it's counted down to 0, you'll just get booted out of the stage and go back to the overworld, basically. And so first off, the natural DK coin is up here. It's a pretty neat path. And then what you have to do is, once the timer spawns, you will have to backtrack the stage all the way back to the start, and that's where the Clubba coin spawns. So yeah, 65 seconds, there you go. So it's definitely pretty difficult, especially if you lose Dixie, so hopefully that doesn't happen. because you can skip a lot of this with Dixie and make it a lot easier. But part of the problem is also that you have to memorize quite well what everything was, because you're going left and you can't, and the camera doesn't scroll as far left as it does right, at least not in this stage. You'd have to use a different camera setting. So yeah, it definitely does get pretty difficult if you end up losing a Kong or something. But this is looking nice, and this... I don't want to say it yet, but this looks like a first try. Yeah, we're back to the start. Nice job. Really good. Okay, so that was the Cleaver coin of World 3, and that was definitely the hardest one. That was really neat. We're gonna grab 2 extra coins here, which are right at the start, and now we can access Funky in this world too, which we haven't bought yet. We're gonna go all the way to World 1, because in World 2, there's the other Lost World stage, the first one that we're gonna enter, so we're gonna do it in this order. And this might not seem that crazy, but this is a Diddy-only stage originally. But now, we get this DK barrel spawned in here, and Blue does this interesting way of grabbing it, which is not intended. You're supposed to find your way to it with a little bit of a puzzle there. But with a bounce of just the correct height, you can actually still manage to grab the DK barrel right out of the air. Over here, this is the DK coin we skipped. If you do a Rambi double jump here, you grab the DK coin of the stage. Blue does a deboost here. That's not necessary, but he does it. And down there is the Cleaver coin. You couldn't see it, but basically it will pop up there from the barrel there. And usually that's a spot you cannot access without a second Kong, so that's the unique part about it. And last but not least, this is also a really unique twist. If you remember this stage, which was really tight and really hard before, now we just get an invul barrel right at the start that lasts a minute, and you actually have to just go as fast as you can. Like a little, it's like a speed run. Not sure if you guys are familiar with that, but yeah. And then you can also deboost this guy, that's where the DK coin was, behind him. That was the original of the stage. And yeah, the cool part is you can like reroute the entire stage this way, because now you can just bounce on bees and stuff. And the point of all this is, at the end of the section, at the end of the tunnel, there will be a secret section that you can squeeze into, and if you're just quick enough, your invul will still last to be able to go into the lava, making it so that you can collect the Cleaver, which does last right now. Nice. We got it. And now we get to see the Lost World. So this is the first stage of the Lost World. These stages are much harder. So this one is Paradox Paradise, and this one's crazy difficult. All these rock barrels you see, you might notice Blue is doing some little wiggles once he grabs these barrels sometimes. That's because each and every of these barrels reverses your controls. And if you are on reverse controls, you get back reversed to the normal controls, basically. Over here, you have to do like a timing thing. Wait for a bonus to appear, and if you get just the right timing, you get shot into a bonus. This bonus is really tricky unless you figure it out, which is you do like dead rolls, basically, meaning usually this would actually reverse your controls over and over and over again, and people get stuck in that loop. But what you do is you hold neutral, or you don't hold any controls while doing rolls, allowing you to do neutral rolls, and so you don't actually move while going through the barrels. One important thing to note is these barrels, they tick over time, so they tick each second if you stand on them and AFK on them. So you can't take long, because if you do, they'll keep reversing your controls, and you'll have to count the ticks or else you won't know which controls you are on. But nicely done. Blue gets through the stage with ease. That was insane. That was really good. And yes, that barrel is pretty BS. I agree. It's pretty out of nowhere, but there's some tech to be able to time it. You can just count Dixie's breaths or AFK animations or the breath of the bee, I believe. There's some stuff about that. You can also delay your fall by just team throwing and while falling. This stage, Crimson Cavern, is a entire bonus room basically. So all of these Lost World stages have insane special gimmicks. So this one is basically a kill all the enemies bonus, but there were signposts at the start telling you that you have a leeway of 3 enemies, meaning you can skip killing 3 enemies and still spawn the door entrance. If you don't kill enough enemies in this stage, or the timer runs out, you start from the start again. Or if you don't have enough enemies killed, you just won't get the door transition at the top. It will just not be spawned. So far, Blue has he skipped 1 bee there. I lost track. There's 2 bees here that he skips. So that should make 3. And then he kills this hook. The hook sprite counts as a kill too, so he can skip another bee here as well, I believe. And then he can kill these last 3 ones, skip that one on the left, and get into the entrance. There you go. This bonus will require what we call a just defend, meaning you can turn around on ice, hitting the spiny seemingly from the backside, but actually facing the right direction that it still hits it. But if you are on 2 Kongs, this is what I meant about like the game not being Kaiser, for example. I give the player an alternate option most of the time. So if you're on 2 Kongs, you get rewarded for having 2 Kongs because you can still just throw that spiny. The second section only allows for 1 missed thingy, and we've already missed it. I think that wasn't intentional though, so we can just literally clear the rest of this. The time's also much shorter, but that's not an issue. We're looking pretty good now. A lot of vertical movement. And yeah, the ice physics make this really difficult, but Blue is nailing this beautifully. Nice, dude. No. If you take damage in this stage, the stage doesn't end, actually. Alright, this is my favorite one. This is actually my favorite one. My favorite stage. I'm so proud of this, and people are hating me for this. So, this is basically Torcha, the video game. So what you can see is Blue is not intentionally going slow. No, actually the Y button that I was talking about earlier, yeah, it's just disabled for this stage completely. You cannot go fast, you cannot jump fast, you cannot roll. You cannot throw with your partner. You can still team up, but you cannot team throw. So, yeah. There's built-in skip there, little skip barrel, and yeah, you have to maneuver through all of this without the Y button, and it's insanely difficult. Also, this is one of the longest stages in the game, and the second half gets much harder than this. Exactly. That is probably why it's my proudest work, actually. You know, stuff that pisses people off is a specialty. And then, yeah, this spider is amazing because you can only shoot platform webs. The Y button is the one that shoots the webs that kill bees, and that's why I put in yellow bees instead of red ones to trigger people even more that they can kill them, and it works beautifully. In this bonus, you have to utilize the invul to go over all the spikes. And yeah, if you do it like this, not get caught into these bears for too long, you get the DK coin and the bonus. Nicely done. You're nailing this stuff. Jesus Christ, this is amazing. These are actually really difficult. Coming up is the second section of the stage though, which is a lot harder than the first one. And it's mostly about the moving barrel collection that you see in a second. So right here is what I was talking about. This is pretty tight. Blue switches to Dixie. In case he gets hit, he only loses Dixie. That's the thought behind this, I think. Because Diddy is much more valuable at the end of the stage. Or, I mean, Diddy is much more valuable at the end of the stage. Okay, yeah, you got hit there. That's fine. Most of these things, I make sure you can make in one cycle when you go. So that shows here, which is really nice. And you utilize the crocs to bounce off of them and stuff. Got the G letter. See, blue is a true G. That's a really tight bounce off of the flitter too. And then there's this last clobber here which catches people off guard and bounces them back into the spikes. Insanely infuriating. Also, you don't grab the balloon even if you trigger the goal. It is actually just a floating balloon. It's not on the goalpost. Yeah, I was having one of my evil days that day. I don't know what happened to me, but I was just in the mood for this. Turned out to be one of my favorite stages, honestly. Probably my favorite stage altogether in the game. This is Forge Gorge. Insanely flavorful stage. You're basically on this huge, I'd say like bastion or something. That's why it's all like steel colored and stuff. And then you have these spike balls and these spears and stuff. It was supposed to be like an armory of sorts, like a weapon factory. And the cool part is, the cool and the cruel part is, first of all, the spears also have a hitbox at the top. And second of all, you gotta collect all the Kong letters to be able to get it into the, or not into the bonus, but to be able to complete the bonus. And the cool part is the first section is purely Diddy focused, and then the second section is purely Dixie focused. Even if you re-enter the stage with multiple Kongs, you'll still come out as Diddy on starting the stage, and as Dixie on starting on the midway. So there's no way around it. You have to do solo Diddy at the start of the stage and solo Dixie at the end of the stage. And this solo Dixie part here is notoriously difficult. But it also utilizes her main quirk to the maximum, which is gliding. And so you need some real precision gliding in this, which is something that has not been anywhere in the original game. It gets really tough. There you go, look at this. Pretty good. Get the G, that's the last letter that we need for the bonus. And once we get all these Kong letters, all the chests in the bonus itself will replace its contents with TNT barrels that we need. Otherwise, there would be Kong letters inside. But game tries to think of something else to put into the chest when you already have collected a Kong letter. So you can only collect one Kong letter at a time. It'll put something else instead. And yeah, I've changed it so that the content instead is a TNT barrel, which you need to clear the bones with. And that is the second last, or well, technically third last DK coin that we need, but second last bonus. And now we're gonna go to the last Lost World stage, which is the Compendium. And I think you see where this is going. this will be a compilation of everything that we've done. Not truly everything, but kind of like a mix of like the most memorable stages. So this is a different take on 1-1. As you can see, the layout is completely the same, but most of the jumpy crocs have been replaced by invulnerable ones. Then we have this part from 3, which is Crookshot Cave, and there's floating hooks now and also more invulnerable enemies. But the layouts are always exact one replicas of the stages. They're just modified different content. And then next up, we have Mind Over Metal, which was our World 2 escort stage. And now we have some additional obstacles here, and we have to find different ways to be able to smuggle the ball through. And there will also be the bonus hidden in this section of the stage in a really interesting way, where you have to utilize invulnerability to be able to bounce off of a floating cannonball, so you can bridge the gap to the next part here. Boom, boom, nicely done. Super good. Now this bonus is a little bit of a puzzle. You gotta grab those that box here. You pop that box, you fuel the cannon. Now these cannons are not actual bonus cannons anymore. Oof. Well, we can just restart the bonus. But these cannons are not actual bonus cannons anymore. These are modified barrels that you just have to fuel. So you can only trigger them with a cannonball. They don't warp you into another bonus to activate it. They just shoot you up. A little bit off timing, but that's fine. There you go. So you you pop the box. It's super tight. The timing on the stage is super tight. Yeah, you clear out this path in the right order. The last cannon drops all the way to the bottom, you fuel the cannon, and then you shoot all the way to the top to get to the DK coin. And now that we are past that, we can actually continue moving on to the next section, which will be Castle Phobia once again. Much tighter here though. This can go even more difficult than that. Nicely done. Clears out the 2 rats there. And then we also have another invulnerable rat coming up, which is the purple one up there. That's a new enemy type that you can only see in the Lost World stage here. Nicely done. And then, yeah, this is just pretty tight platforming. It's not that bad, actually. They're pretty slow and stuff, but they catch you off guard. It's bad. And this stage is more about consistency because it's just so long. And you have to maneuver through all of this with 2 Kongs. Now, he lost 1 Kong here, and this will be dangerous because this last section is really difficult on 1 Kong. We're back in K-Rool's Cavern, actually. We haven't seen at all in this hack yet. And yeah. So yeah, that was bound to happen. I was about to say this last section here is insanely difficult. It's the last little bit, but it's actually so much more difficult on 1 Kong. Because there's 2 of these B jumps in particular that are pretty tight. And yeah, so the difficulty, I'd say this is definitely the easiest of the Lost World stages. The difficulty does not come from the stage itself, but rather from how long it is. Because you have to be super duper consistent at this. Oh, nice save. I thought ball was lost, but that's nice. Alright, and now we're back in the Castle Phobia section. And, nicely done. But we're on one Kong again, so we'll see how this goes. This can go either way, but we're still gonna try. We'll have to wait for the right cycle of these guys to align here. And now the intended way, yep, you don't team throw in there, you actually have to bounce on the croc to be able to get into the barrel there. Oof. There you go. Take your time. It can be difficult. Oh yeah, this last B again. This can be a tight squeeze with the wall there. That's definitely one of the tighter jumps there. Alright. Third time's a charm. Let's go. Yeah, so as you can see, when we're two Kongs, we can actually use the fact that we have a larger hitbox when we're teamed up, so we can just straight up jump into that barrel. Usually that's not possible. You have to actually bounce on the croc to be able to bounce into the barrel. And then once the section goes right, everything should be easy on the last one because we can... It's a really short section, and you are also allowed to just deboost then if you have Kongs. Yeah, that's a smart move. Use Dixie for safety. There you go. And now we're back in K-Roll's Cavern. And the final section of the stage. And as usual, probably now that we're on two Kongs. Okay, I was about to say, probably now that we're on two Kongs, you will not take damage at all, but I saw that that was an intentional deboost to just skip through it. And now we're on K-Roll too, and the incentive was met for the reverse controls, so this should be interesting, and I am a believer. So the first ghost he shoots here will turn you purple. That means controls are now reversed. And this fight is insanely difficult already without reverse controls, so that's... Yeah, you'll see what I mean in a second. Okay. That's respectable. You have to actually manipulate the top barrel by jumping into it most of the time to be able to know where it is when the cannonballs arrive. You want to throw off the timing of the top barrel, basically. Dude, this is crazy. Yeah, okay. Now remember, every crouch he does here, you can see this sometimes, he has to crouch here for cannonball sometimes. Those are up presses as well. Like this. And when he wants to go right, he has to press left. This is insane. Ooh. Final. Wow, dude, let's go. No! Oh, so that was the final shot.
Oh, that's insane.
Blueberry, visually distressed by that. I'm so sorry, but that was actually amazing. So that barrel, he was just trying to get a more optimal hit there, but basically once you bounce on that barrel, the cannonball drops that you have to throw into the cannon. That was the final shot. Yeah, but either way, this is insane. Like, I don't know how you do this. I mean, this fight already on like normal controls is really difficult, and yeah. Yeah, of course, he's doing it again for the fans. He's not giving up. Blue is a legend. God gamer. Oh, that was unfortunate, but really nice still. Yeah. About to be at the end of it again. On a section, boom, that was the last one, and now we're taking our time. Yeah, there you go. Going in, and time drops when the coin drops, which we will not be able to see, I believe, because it's a completed fight, but it will be probably time already. Yeah, there you go. Nice job, Blue. That was
Yeah,
insane.
great job. GG.
We had some hiccups here and there, obviously, but this was still a really nice run, and you rushed Lost World. This last Lost World stage was the only one you had some troubles with, and the rest of them were insanely well executed, actually. That was really nice.
Like I was saying, I don't think I could have done this given 20 hours, so to see, I mean, even the ambition to go for it is incredible.
Yeah. I should probably add, now that you mention it, I've seen a lot of people, speedrunners, DKC veterans, and even casuals that have only beaten the original game once or twice. I've seen them beat this game. Also, by the way, we have rescued Winky. Ribbit.
Ribbit!
Him, Ribbit, happy. But yeah, if you are into this sort of stuff, I can confirm usually the time to beat this in 102% takes about 40 hours. So that's a lot of game time.
Well, Empty, your insight has been incredibly valuable. If someone wanted to play this or see more of you, where would you recommend they go?
You can just join the Unveiled Discord. That their link to it is on my Twitch channel, which is twitch.tv/emptysys, and I can just point an arrow in chat to me or whatever. And yeah, it's all in my bio section, so you can all see everything. And there's also a download link to the ROM if you want to try it out.
Well, wonderful. Blue, I don't know if, are you on mic? All right. Well, everybody, his name is on the screen, I believe. Let me try this here. Exclamation runner. Doesn't work, but hey, I believe in you guys. Check him out.
Here, I am the bot. There you go.
There we go. Perfect bot.
Yep.
And I appreciate it. Thank you guys for showcasing this.
Thanks for having us. It was a great round.